Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. So in this video I'm going to be doing the lazy girl method, and I'm going to be doing a winter nail design. So I did already pick out my nail tips. I'm using the full covered square medium length nail tips, and I am using this Macart polygel. It's Macart number 922, and it is a really pretty periwinkle blue polygel. So I'm going to be doing an ombre nail on this nail. So I just placed a small bead of the polygel. This bead was a little too big, but that's okay. So I'm just distributing it to one section of the nail because I'm going to be doing the faded area. I had to remove some of the polygel right here because I didn't need that much, but I'm just distributing the polygel right now to a section of the nail, making sure that that section is covered the way I like it, and I measure it to my finger just to ensure that the fade would be where I want it to be. However, this pinky nail, the fade was a bit too high. Considering that the nail is short, I wanted the fade to be a little lower. However, I did it on the index nail, and I did it correctly on the index nail. So when I'm satisfied with everything, I would fade the polygel into the nail on both sides so that there isn't a harsh line of demarcation when I am applying some more beads of the blue polygel. And when I'm satisfied with how this looks, I would cure that for 30 seconds. Now I just placed it back on my nail palette, and now I'm going to be doing the same thing on the index nail. So I make sure to clean inside of the nail tip. Sometimes I forget and sometimes I remember to do it, but always remember to do that, guys, because sometimes there may be lint or something in the nail and you only notice it when you're finished with the whole nail design, and that can be very annoying. So I just placed a small bead of the blue polygel inside of the nail and distribute it to one section, and make sure to measure it to my nail so that the fade isn't too high on this nail. And I'm doing that, and then I removed some of the polygel because I do not need that much. And as always, the nail tip kept falling off of the nail stand, which is pretty normal for the lazy girl method. It's still annoying, but it's normal, so I am used to it, but it's still annoying. So yeah, I'm just fading the polygel right now, and when I'm satisfied with that, I would cure for 30 seconds. And the reason why I remove some of the polygel is because I don't want any polygel to reach the cuticle area of the nail, because it would be very difficult when I am applying more polygel to adhere the nail tip. It would be very difficult for the nail tip to stay on my nail. So the less polygel you use now, the better. I'm going to be doing the same thing on the thumbnail, by the way. And also, I have not changed my sticky tab on my nail stand for like a year now, so that could be the reason why it keeps popping off of the nail stand. So yeah. I'm just gonna let this part play out, and I'll be back shortly. Now I'm going to be using these snowflake glitters. So I'm just going to be picking out some and placing it on my nail palette for easier access. And these snowflake glitters are so pretty. Oh my goodness, I purchased these on Amazon a while back. If I remember, I would leave a link in the description below. And I'm going to be using gel base coat. So on the ring nail, I'm just going to be placing a small bead of the gel base coat, and then I pick up one of the glitter snowflake and place it on the gel base coat and apply pressure with my dotting tool, and then flash cure with my LED flashlight for 5 to 10 seconds. Then I do the same thing again. And this is how it looks. So I'm going to be doing the same thing on the middle nail. Then I'm going to be placing the ring nail tip on my nail stand, and I'm applying some gel base coat to seal in the snowflake glitters, and I'm doing the same thing for the middle nail, and I cure for 30 seconds. Now moving back to the pinky nail, I'm going to be doing some cracked ice nails. So I'm applying a layer of gel base coat. And then using a piece of plastic, I place it on the wet base coat and move it around to create the cracked ice effect. However, that was not working because the gel base coat is kind of a bit too thin, so it really wasn't giving the cracked ice effect as good as I would have liked it to be. So I removed it, and now I'm using my McCart clear polygel, and I just placed a small bead at the tip area of the pinky nail, and I make sure that this layer is very thin, and I also have to ensure that it doesn't go too low on the nail because my nail still has to go inside of the nail tip, so it cannot be too low on the nail or else it will hinder me from applying the nail tip comfortably. So anyway, when I finished applying the clear polygel inside of the nail tip, I just placed the clear plastic wrap on the uncured polygel and moved it around a bit just to create the cracked ice effect. And when I'm satisfied with it, I would cure it for 30 seconds. And this is how it looks, and I think it looks really good. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. So I just placed it on just to ensure that the nail fits perfectly, and there was a little piece that was touching my nail and was sort of kind of hindering me from placing the nail tip on my nail comfortably. So we'll get back to that nail later on. So I'm going to be doing the same thing on the index nail. So I'm just going to let this part play out and I'll be back shortly. But before I go, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you like my content, and thanks to all who watch my videos all the way through. This really helps the channel when you do all of these things, and I really appreciate it. And let me know what you guys would like to see on my channel. I have a lot of nail designs coming for the winter, so stay tuned for that, and make sure to turn on your post notifications so you won't miss any of my videos. So after curing the index nail, this is how it looks. And this one was very comfortable on my nail. Now I'm going to be doing the same thing on the thumbnail. So when I placed it on my thumbnail, I noticed that the cracked ice would be touching my thumb a bit, so I pushed it up. I pushed up the clear polygel a bit so it wouldn't be touching my thumb at all. And when I'm satisfied with that, I would cure for 30 seconds and it fits perfectly on my thumb now. If I had left it, it would have hindered me from placing the nail tip on my nail comfortably. So yes, this is how all of the nails are looking. So I'm going to be placing them on my nails. So I just applied my gel base coat to all of the nails and then I would cure for 30 seconds. So on the pinky nail, I'm showing you guys where it is kind of hindering me from applying the nail tip. So I'm going to be filing off that little piece right there so that when I apply the rest of polygel, it would go on seamless. If I had left it, it would not have gone on as comfortably as I would like it to be. So it's always best to make sure that the nails can be applied as good as possible so it wouldn't lift easily or anything like that. So when I'm finished filing, I dusted off the excess and applied some rubbing alcohol to remove the dust, and now I am applying the blue polygel to the nail bed area of the pinky nail. And when I'm applying the polygel, I make sure not to apply too much of the polygel and I make sure that it doesn't surpass the ombre that I did, the fade that I did. If it does, I need to remove it from that section. And I need to remove a lot of polygel from the nail as well, because when I place it on my finger and apply pressure, the polygel would seep out the cuticle area and also the underside of the nail where the fade is. So you have to remove the polygel that seeped out the underside of the nail, because it would ruin the ombre effect and it wouldn't look as good as you would like it to be if ombre fade is messed up because of the polygel that seeped out. So please pay attention to that. I didn't show myself doing it, but for one of the nail I had to remove it. I had to remove it before curing it, of course, and apply a little less polygel so the polygel wouldn't seep out of the nail at the tip area of the nail. So yes, I am using Rosalia, which is this beautiful glitter polygel from Macart. So I just placed a bead of the polygel on the ring nail and evenly distribute that. And then when I'm satisfied, I placed it on my ring nail, applied pressure, then I cleaned around the cuticle area and the underside of the nail and cured for 30 seconds. And I did the same on the middle nail. Now onto the index nail, I'm going to be applying a small bead of the blue polygel and distributing it at the nail bed area. And then I placed it on the index nail. Make sure not to apply too much polygel so that it seeps out the underside of the nail and ruin the ombre. So I would suggest placing a very tiny amount. I think this was kind of too much of polygel. I think it did seep out the underside of the nail and ruined the ombre from the right side of the nail, so I had to remove that. I don't think I showed myself doing that, but I'm not sure, because as you can see right there, the ombre doesn't look like an ombre right now. It just looks like a line straight across. I didn't like how that was looking at all, and I tried to remove some polygel from the underside, but it wasn't looking good. So yes, I did show myself removing the nail right here and redoing it. So I removed the polygel that was in the nail, and then I applied a smaller amount of polygel, not too much. I'm trying not to apply a lot. Oh, and also I did have to file this nail because the cracked ice was a bit too close to my nail. That's probably why it was happening as well. So yeah, you just have to examine the nails and just know what you're doing, because you know, certain things, little things, you need to pay attention to the details and the nails would turn out really fine. So it's always the little things to keep in mind, such as the cracked ice being way too close to the nail bed, and also applying a little too much polygel to the nail and it seeps out the underside of the nail. These little things makes the nails look good and can ruin a nail design very easily. So pay attention to details, and I think I applied just the right amount this time. I'm not sure. It low-key looks like too much, to be very honest, but I'm not sure. I think I had to remove this nail again, but I cannot remember. But if it happens, make sure and apply a little bit of polygel to the nail so that the nail tip could adhere, but not enough to seep out the underside of the nail. And I low-key think I had to redo that a third time, but I just didn't show myself doing it. I can't remember for sure, but I think so. So always pay attention to details. So on the thumbnail, I'm going to be doing the same thing. So I'll just let you guys watch this and I'll be back shortly. This is after curing the nails. Now I'm just going to be using some rubbing alcohol to remove the stickiness, and then I filed the nails. And as usual, filing Lazy Girl method nails are pretty easy, and I finished within 15 to 20 minutes as usual. So I'm just going to let this part play out and I'll be back shortly. So this is after filing of the nails. Now I'm just going to be placing some top coat on the index nail, and before curing that I'm going to be applying some rhinestones to the index nail. And I just did some basic cuticle rhinestones, so yeah, I'm just going to be doing that on the index nail and then on the pinky nail, and then I would cure that for 30 seconds. And last minute I also applied some silver caviar bead to the nails, and I did the same on the thumbnail. Now I'm just going to be top coating the middle nail and the ring nail, and then I cure that for 30 seconds. Then I top coat the underside of the middle nail and the ring nail and cured that for 30 seconds. Now I'm going to be applying cuticle oil to rehydrate my skin and nails. And this is the finished look. So let me know what you guys think about this lazy girl method cracked ice nail design using Macart polygel. I think it turned out really good, but let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.